Hello, we are the Evil Squid Comics Podcast 2.0,
2.0.
Episode 1. Can you hear us?
Hello?
I assume you can. Alright, I am Drew,
I am Don.
and we are going to do a bi-weekly podcast about comic books.
Is it bi-weekly?
That is the plan. I thought we discussed that.
Well, you said maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's going to be bi-weekly. I'm not doing this every week.
No?
Nope. I'm trying to avoid burnout. We used to have a podcast called Comics, and we did how many episodes? 260 or something?
Probably.
Probably.
That's me.
Did you joined?
I did
It
join.
said. But you're already on.
Oh, there's 2.
I'm confused. What are you doing?
I'm watching it. It tells me
Okay.
how many people are watching us.
Oh, sweet. Who else is watching?
I don't know.
Oh, that's
They
weird.
have to say hello.
Oh, okay.
See, that's the cool thing about live. They can, ask us questions
Yes.
and, say hi.
Say hi.
And-
So you joined your own podcast.
I did.
That's interesting.
I know. Well, I wanted
Well-
to monitor it in case people want to ask questions.
Gotcha. When you join, does it then create like a weird echo, like your phone is?
I turned the volume off.
Oh, brilliant! All right. Anyway,
But I'm kind of nervous.
as we figure out technology,
'Cause it's
here,
live.
on the podcast, I'm
What
sure
if
this
we-
is riveting.
What if we mess up the script? Because it's live.
We don't have a script.
Oh, well then we can't mess it up.
That's true.
You should have
Alright.
told people that we were doing it.
Well, it should give them a notification when we go live. It'll be like, they are going live
there
right
were
now.
there was someone who was excited. Well, there's a couple people that were excited.
They were like, yes.
I even
Our
had
buddy Bill Hook and our buddy John Osborne, I think.
yeah. Well, no, I talked to Chi.
Oh yeah.
He was excited. He wanted to know if Matt was going to come back. 'Cause
It could,
He
they
liked
said that
Matt.
with Facebook Live, you can have somebody join the podcast.
he said he met Matt at the Air Capital last
Yeah, Matt
year.
really
He
liked
really
Chi.
liked him.
Well, Matt really likes Chi's work.
Well, there you go.
They're fans of each other.
I bought some of his work on Free Comic Book Day.
I saw that. Should we start with our free comic book day stories? Go ahead, tell your free comic book day story.
I don't really have
I
any.
mean, have a story.
I got a bunch of comics and some salt and pepper shakers and a game and what else? I don't know.
No.
It was cool.
That's cool. I went to Prairie Dog, and I got there at 10:15 to drop off the flyers, and then I got in line. The line was already past the edge of the building, so I get in line. And they open the door, so everybody gets in, and they have this snaky line through the whole thing that you have to wait in, and it's really slow moving. And I had to have my son at baseball practice at 11:30. They opened at 10:30, so we had to actually leave line without getting our free comic books and go to baseball practice. But then we went back afterwards, and it had all died down, and I got my free comic I wanted, and then I let my kids pick out a couple comics each. And
Why didn't you get 2?
And then we bought, what's that?
Why didn't you get 2?
Can I finish my story?
Sure.
Okay. Then we bought some comics, and they gave us 4 extra free ones. So each kid got 2, or each of us got 2, because there was me and 2 kids, so 6 plus 4, so we got 10 to choose from. I got one that I wanted. I let the kids choose the other ones, but we could only come up with 8 total, because by then it was there's nothing else I really wanted. I think they were out of all of the main Marvel and DC books already. What did Marvel put out for Free Comic Book Day? Did you get that?
I think it was Secret Empire 0.
No, you had to buy that.
No, they had a Free Comic Book Day version
Oh,
of
really?
Secret Empire
Gotcha.
0.
Huh.
That's the only thing I saw. I don't know. I'm not really there for the free comics anyway.
I'm not either.
'Cause
I did
most
want
of
the I
time-
Hate Image variant, though. That's what I wanted.
I didn't know about that, but I
You
picked
didn't know
it
about
up.
it? You got it? That's the only reason not the only reason I went, but that was the main book that I wanted personally.
There were several. I went to Wizards Asylum first. We didn't get there till 11:30 because I didn't want to wait in line, and
That makes sense.
I had all day, and I didn't really care about the free comics.
Your kid didn't have a baseball game
No,
or a baseball practice?
no.
Hmm.
So we walked right in, and of course I went back into the back. They had the table with everything, and there were probably 4 or 5 that I wanted to get, but you could only get 2.
Yeah.
So I picked up 2, and then, they had 10-cent comics. They had 10, 11, 12 long boxes of 10-cent comics.
Yeah.
And so I think it's me and you, because mine says 2 and yours says 1.
That's cool.
I don't know. But anyway, So I made a choice and I picked up 2, which is weird because I buy my stuff through DCBS,
Yeah.
and they let me pick like 8, I think, or
For
something.
free?
Yeah, like a long time ago. Like
Oh,
you
you
had
mean back when we used to do it?
No, I'm talking like
They didn't give me a choice to pick any.
I think you had to click on a thing or something.
I
don't know.
didn't do it.
But anyway, I couldn't remember what I'd bought, so I probably got, because it's
The
stuff
same
that I
stuff.
like, so I probably got the same stuff
Probably.
there that I didn't get here.
Probably.
But so I think there I picked up the I Hate Image and the Time Shifters, because those were the 2 that I really wanted to get.
Gotcha.
And then, so we stayed there and we bought some stuff, and then we went to Vintage Stock at Town East. You could take as many as you wanted there.
Wow.
Like there was at least there was no sign that said there was a limit, but I could only find 2 that I wanted there anyway. So I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Exo.
Gotcha.
Man of War.
I got the
whatever.
Exo Man of War as well too. I
Yeah.
did get that.
But I bought the that's the thing. Like
I don't think they had I think they must have been out of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one.
that's the
'cause I
thing though.
probably
Like
grabbed that.
I'm pretty sure that's just like a preview of the book, and I've already bought the book.
No, it's got other stuff on it.
Well, it has a Bloodshot
It's
thing.
got like 3 stories in it, dude. Did you not even read your?
I did.
Because there's this weird.
I
thing.
skimmed that thing because I wasn't interested. I read like
Yeah, there's,
half
like
of
secret weapons. There's
read,
a
like,
2-pager.
part
There's,
of
like,
Secret Weapons.
Lords,
and I like
Eternity.
and I
There's
like-
like 4 different books in here.
I like Bloodshot, and I only read like half of it because I was bored with it.
I'm sorry, I haven't read any Valiant. Did you read Valiant?
I read Bloodshot.
Oh, that's cool.
Jeff Lemire's been killing it on Bloodshot.
Has he?
His run on Bloodshot is awesome.
Cool.
But I already bought the Time Shifter book,
Yeah.
but I wanted to get the
Well, Chris Grind gave me one of those at Planet, so I didn't need that.
really.
Yeah, he had them.
How
already.
he shouldn't have been handing those out.
He was breaking the rules, breaking the law.
Breaking the rules for everybody.
Yep. Did you read the I Hate Fairyland?
I did.
It was
I
pretty
hate
good.
Image.
I Hate Image. Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
It was kind of weird because like Kip Reese had posted his grabs
Yeah.
for Free Comic Book Day on
Uh-huh.
Facebook, and he had the Tick book, and that was one of them that they had at Wizards that I didn't get, and then
Yeah.
they didn't have it at Vintage. But anyway, he posted on there, and I said, "Oh man, I didn't get the Tick book," and so then he messaged me back or something and said, "If you want mine, you can have it." And I'm like, "Nah, that's cool. I mean, it's all right. I mean, I'm not all broken up because I didn't get a Tick or whatever." And he's like, "Well, I don't mind reading it and passing it on." Well, anyway, so then I think like the next morning, Sunday, he sent me a screenshot of the SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And the SpongeBob comic, there's like a thing where SpongeBob goes on a rant. It's like a panel. And he basically, I could pull it up and like read it
You don't
verbatim.
have to.
But basically, is what it says is like, he's like, we need to go to, they had like a word for Free Comic Book Day, like retailer, you know what I mean? Like not actual Free Comic Book Day. He's like, that's the day where you go to the comic book store and you can get samples of everything. And he goes, oh, he's like, but it's always reprints of stuff, and it's like the industry hasn't figured out how to bring in new readers because it's the same stuff over. And he goes on like this whole rant, like slamming like the comics and everything. Yeah. And then and how it's all for kids and all this. And so then I sit down and the first thing I read is I Hate Image. It's got a big M mature on it.
Yes.
And it's like blood everywhere. And I'm like, well, SpongeBob needs to read this because this was a brand new story.
Correct. And I guess he was. Did you read I Hate
I
Fairyland?
did,
And
and
he said
put it in the
was
back.
going to be late because he took a month off to draw this. All right, so this is a pretty cool book. I Hate Image. Basically, the Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland goes through and basically kills everybody in the Image universe. I did have a question. So at the end, she gets to the partners, right?
Yeah.
And there's that scene with all the partners.
Who's that?
That's what I was going to ask you. I don't know who that was. I think that's Mark Sylvester because he's got the Top Cow shirt.
Yeah.
Obviously, Eric Larson, he's drawn in that funny way.
Right.
Todd McFarlane has a Spawn doll, so that's obvious. Jim Valentino, Robert Kirkman counting his money.
Yeah.
But I don't know who that guy is. I wonder if that's Eric Stevenson.
Maybe.
Because there are no more partners, I don't think.
Is Will Portacio still a partner?
No.
Did they kick him out?
I don't think they kicked him out. I think he just quit because he wasn't really doing anything.
Mm.
But anyway, I don't know. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good.
I liked it.
You get to see Eric Larson get his head chopped off.
Yeah, that's always nice. And you get to see Scotty Young draw pretty much every Image
Yeah.
character, which is always cool.
That was awesome.
I mean,
Whoever that guy is, she punched his brain out.
oh yeah,
That's how he died.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it must. I think it's Eric Stevenson. But I don't know.
I don't know.
He's the publisher for you people who don't know.
I like the big eye building, and then the big giant golden door into there.
Pretty good.
And Robert Kirkman's like just counting money,
Just counting money. Of course, he's counting money.
and Todd McFarlane's playing with his toys, his action figures.
All right, so we'll just, like I said, this
So,
podcast is just
who
kind of
was-
us getting our feet wet, so we don't
Who
have
was your
a lot of
favorite-
structure.
Who was your favorite Image character that he drew?
I don't know. What kind of weird question is that?
I don't know.
I know. I like this Savage Dragon on that double page spread where he's just like, where she's killing everybody with that gun.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Tony Chu.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I did like the Paper Girls scene. That was kind of
Yeah, that's pretty good.
the Southern Bastards.
It was all good, man.
I like how when they went to The Walking Dead, it went black and white. That was cool.
That was cool.
Cool beans.
It was a fun romp, especially if you read a lot of those Image books.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I'm not sure that it's going to make you want to read any of those Image books. I guess it might make you want to read I Hate Fairyland.
I don't even know what would do that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, what'd you read? What did we both read that we're going to talk about?
Manamwolf.
Namwolf.
That's been a while since I read that. I don't
It
know.
has?
Yeah.
It just came out, like...
You have Reborn in there? You didn't
No.
tell me you buy Reborn.
I buy Reborn,
Oh,
but that's old.
you didn't list it. Well, I saw it in there.
No, it's not in here. I don't know what you're talking about. I honestly don't know what you're saying. That's Redline.
Oh, I don't know.
I
Gotcha.
honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I was really hyped for this book because I just thought it was a cool concept.
You like told me that it was really good. Like you were like,
I really
this
liked
thing
it.
is awesome.
But I was really hyped for it even before I read it, and I still liked it. It's written by Fabian Rangel Jr. and drawn by Logan Farber.
Farber.
I don't know how to say it. But anyway, so colors by Brendan Wagner. Should we say colors? I don't know. But this is through Albatross, and I thought Albatross was just going to be Eric Powell publishing his own stuff, but apparently he's going to expand and publish other people's stuff as well.
Who?
Eric Powell
Oh yeah.
owns Albatross because he's putting out Hillbilly
He's kind of putting out Hillbilly.
when it comes out.
It slid.
It's a little behind. What do you expect?
That's true.
But anyway, this is pretty cool. It's about this kid. His dad's seen him off to go to Vietnam, and he goes to Vietnam. So it kind of starts as just a regular Vietnam story. And then all of a sudden they get ambushed, and the kid turns into a werewolf.
Yes.
And just conceptually, I thought that would sound like a lot of fun. But what makes it even better is the art is really cool. Like, it's got kind of a cartoony look to it,
Yeah.
but then yet it's very, it's kind of vicious too. It's like a cartoony, ultra-violent type thing. So
Ultra-violent cartoonies.
yeah, I like it. So
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
But
It's-
we'll see where it goes. I mean, there's not much to it. At this point, it basically gave you the concept, and it pretty much delivered on that concept, but you don't really know where it's going. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So it's kind
I know where it's going. The werewolf's gonna kill BC. I don't know. But
Kill
no,
who?
yeah, I don't know.
VC,
The Viet Cong.
the VC,
Yeah, VC.
Charlie.
Charlie.
All right. Anyway, love that cover though. That's a really cool cover.
It is a cool cover. I think Alexis Zirit is doing or has done or will be doing like other covers, like variant covers.
Oh, really?
Or-
Well, that makes sense because he worked with Fabian Rangel.
Yes.
Rangel Jr. Whatever.
Yes.
So Namwolf, thumbs up. Do you want to do thumbs up?
I don't care. I've already pre-ordered the next. Actually,
Yeah.
I think
I've been.
I tried to cut back, and I think that got the axe, but I
What?
don't know. Well, because I hadn't even seen it yet. Because I have to order
why,
like
why
4.
would you axe it before you?
Because I was trying to thin stuff out. and I
Yeah,
was
but
just
you've
like,
never even seen it, so how can you decide before seeing it?
I can get it later.
I'm shocked. You'll never get
I
that
can
later.
get it at some point.
You'll never get
Sure,
it.
I can.
Nope.
I can.
Impossible.
Um.
All right, what else did you read that I read?
Well, I read Street Angel,
Oh, of course you read Street Angel.
After School Kung Fu
Now, had you read
Special.
this before? Because I read the mini comic of it. Had you read the mini?
No,
comic?
is there a mini comic?
Yeah, he was putting out those mini comics a few years ago.
I probably have it.
Well, you didn't buy all of them. You bought like one of them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'd read the story before, but not in this format and not in color. So, Street Angel. This is
I
the
thought this
new
was new.
book by Jim Rugg and Brian Maruka called After School Kung Fu Special. It's a very unique format. It's basically the size of like a oversized single issue with a bunch of. It's basically a single issue with a bunch of extras, but yet it's in like a huge oversized hardcover format.
Yes.
And for the retail price of $20. But it's a big, nice, thick hardcover. Thick as in the cardstock cover is very thick, but the book
It
is-
could have been $50 and I would have bought it.
Well, I understand, but we're hardcore. I'm just saying for your average consumer. But it's really cool. You open it up, and it looks like it's like a school like book that someone has doodled in and scribbled all over. It's even got like the little thing, the nameplate in the front that says this book is the property of or whatever, and who it's issued to.
Like the library.
And yet it's got all this like doodling and graffiti all over it. It's pretty cool.
Did Rugg do that?
Yes.
That's him? Okay.
Yes. I think I saw it on his Facebook page. So anyway, it starts out with the. We don't have to do the whole plot or anything, but basically, Street Fighter or Street Angel. Street Angel is, if you don't know, Street Angel is a really cool girl. She's what, 12?
She's in middle school. 12 or 13.
And she's basically the baddest skateboarding, fighting, ninja fighting person on the planet. So nobody can beat her in a fight. So anyway, she's in school, and some guy's trying to like make his rep, so he challenges her to a fight. So the whole school day, this guy challenged her to a fight, and then they're kind of like leading up to like this big after school, brawl or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
She
3
comes-
o'clock high, baby.
She comes to school and there's a note on her locker that says meet me at 3 o'clock or something.
Correct.
And then she finds out who it is and she tells that dude, don't you ever touch my locker.
That's right. And then he makes even the bigger mistake. See, Street Angel, she's homeless, right?
Yes.
So school lunch is like the highlight of her day because she actually gets to eat. So she's eating her lunch, and the way Street Angel eats is like if you have small children or like 5 or 6 year olds and they're just like shoving food in their mouth. Think of that, but to the extreme. She's just like.
If you ever watch Dragon Ball Z, the way Goku eats.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
So she's shoveling food in. The guy who's challenging her to a fight, he comes up and he slams her head into her food. That's not a good thing to do with Street Angel because when she's eating, she's kind of like a dog. You don't mess with her while she's eating or whatever. So they almost have to fight in the cafeteria, but she walks away. So anyway, I'm not going to spoil the book because somebody may actually read it. I don't want to give the ending away.
Somebody may actually read it.
It ends in obviously the huge fight, but then there's all this, and the fight is really
There's
cool.
a little twist.
There's a twist at the
end.
end, and it's a pretty good twist, and it's kind of funny too. So it's good stuff. And since the story itself was fairly short, there's a lot of back matter. Like there's book club classroom discussion questions.
Yeah.
Those are pretty funny. And there's some pinups. There's a bunch of process stuff. Like he shows kind of how he writes the script and then does the thumbnails and kind of does the whole process and draws it and inks it. I guess he does most of the stuff in pencil now, is what he said. He's not inking much. He's mostly drawing in pencil.
Oh,
So that's cool.
he had a thing on Facebook. A video on Facebook not
Actually
too long
watched that,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah. That was really cool because it goes more into his process, but
Yeah. So
pretty interesting.
we're huge Jim Rugg fans, so we're obviously biased, but
Yeah, because
this
Jim
is
Rugg is cool.
Exactly.
And Street Angel is awesome.
I love Street Angel. It's probably one of my favorite characters in modern comics these days. So anyway, definitely check out Street Angel After School Kung Fu Special. And if you do check it out and you get a copy, I think you can get it on Amazon if your local comic book store doesn't have it. There's another one that just got solicited previews that you can pick up. It's the next one.
Yeah.
And I've read this story too. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, so it's not new.
It's all new. It's just they put them out. He put them out in mini comics, like a run of
Gotcha.
like 200. But I
Gotcha.
mean, most people probably haven't heard it or seen it.
I might
That makes
have that
sense.
mini comic. I don't think I read the mini comics.
Didn't read the mini comics.
I don't know, dude.
It's all good, man.
I got like so much stuff. It's like crazy.
Hey, Juan joined. Hi, Juan.
Hi, Juan. I don't know if he's listening.
He may not be. All right. So what do you got next?
Someone else joined. You should say hi to them.
What do you got next?
Oh, Wicked Crispy.
Wicked Crispy.
Did you buy these?
I did, and I read them as
Did
well.
you? I got 3 and 4 because I never got 3 because I missed out on Grind. Wicked Crispy is by Chris Grind. He's also the guy that does he's got a new book coming out called Time Shifters through Scholastic. It's
So
a huge.
Time Shifters is like an all ages thing. Wicked
Yeah.
Crispy
Wicked
is like
Crispy is not an
for
all ages.
anybody
It is-
under the age of 21.
It's not even for people over the age of 21. Dude, this thing it's insane. I don't even know what's going on in
No,
this book.
you missed 2.
Well, no, I have it.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
like, I don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's
in
going
it.
on.
It's
I
just
love the
like-
whole when are they hunting the bear or whatever? Did you read that part?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And he's like,
So Wicked Crispy, it's about these. I don't even know how you describe
I
them. They're
don't
like
either.
they're like this
It's-
ragtag group of like monsters and Vikings, and they all worked for like a greeting card company. They all got fired, so they're trying to figure out how to. But it's a webcomic as well. You can actually find it at Wicked
It is a
Crispy.
it is a web
Wicked, is it
comic.
wickedcrispy.com?
I believe, yeah.
So if you want to check it out, that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
But it's really kind of warped and twisted.
Very
just
warped
kind
and
of-
twisted.
So, I mean, potty humor doesn't even do it justice. It's just like ridiculous stuff.
I think my favorite part was in the middle with the Mel with a bell, the elf.
Yeah, the elf.
He just
Yeah.
he basically he's like this elf with a bell, and this guy like makes him mad, I guess. Oh, hey, come look, I drew. Oh, that's what it is. So this guy is like sees this elf. I don't know if he's like an
I
elf
think
on
he's
the
like an elf
shelf,
on the shelf, but he comes alive at
but he
night.
comes alive at night, and he's like, "Hey, look, I drew a hilarious mustache on this elf." And they show later that night, they show him. It's just 4 panels.
Yeah.
And the guy's sleeping, and then you see a little shadow of the elf, and then the next panel is he has a little duty mustache.
A little duty mustache.
Little duty mustache.
And then the next time, what's he drinking coffee?
He's drinking coffee. He's like, "You look like hell, man." He's like, I'm reading the comic now.
That's
He's
right.
like, "Not much sleep. The coffee tastes like shit." You look down and there's two little poops in the coffee cup, and the elf is cuddled in a corner with just some weird look on his eyes. Like, I don't know
That's
what
right.
that look is, but like,
I think it's a smile.
is that a smile? It's like a scary
I think
smile.
so. It's a scary smile, but I think it's a smile.
So, but that was probably like my favorite part. Like,
I like the part where they're
that.
hunting the bear, and the guy so they're going on this bear hunt. I don't even remember why they're going on the bear hunt. And,
Oh yeah,
and the guy drops him off, says, "Yeah, I'm out of here." You're like, "What? You're leaving us? Yeah. Good luck with that."
yeah. There's a lot of nudity in this book,
Yeah, but not like good nudity.
and it's not good nudity.
No,
it's
no.
like
It's like fat people nudity.
it's like that. Well, that's not. But it's like that thing where you're like, oh, I've always wanted to go to a nude beach,
Oh yeah.
and like the nude beach is not where you want to go.
Not where you
like,
wanna go at all.
yeah, but it's great. I mean, it's awesome. I see stuff that I can't unsee, but yeah, I know because I like follow him on Facebook.
What's the name of the strip club?
A wet fart.
A wet fart.
That's the name of the strip club, the Wet Fart. So, the 2 things that we just explained to you just hit the tip of the iceberg on,
Yeah,
on
that's
it.
the tame
But-
stuff in there.
It's almost like a riff on He-Man,
Oh,
and because like the main bad guy looks like
Skeletor. Yeah.
and then there's like this dude at the bar. He looks kind of like Mum-Ra, and then the
Remember Thundercats, dude.
well, I was thinking I was gonna say both, but I didn't get to both because that kind of looks like Mum-Ra, and then the guy that's like the MC, that's Man at Arms.
That's true. Yeah, so there's a lot of
So-
cute little Easter eggs and stuff. in there.
Yeah, but no, it's very definitely check out the webpage. I don't know He does a little bit of the. He prints a few of the issues
But you can pick up at conventions.
that you can pick up at conventions, and you may even be able
And
to
I
get them
think
on
this
his
has actually
website.
gotten picked up by a publisher, and they're going to put out like a graphic novel of it.
Yeah, I think so.
So.
Oh, and then also the other little side thing he has in there is Taco Frog and Macabre.
Oh yeah, Taco Frog and Macabre.
So it's a frog with a taco head and a ear and a cornet ear, or like another guy. I think they're
That's
like
Macabre.
detectives.
Yeah, he's like a corn.
Yeah,
he's a
yeah,
cob of
detectives.
corn.
Yeah, he's a cob of corn in a suit.
Yeah,
And a frog with a taco for the head.
and they're really bad at their job.
And at one point they eat the sour cream off of the taco.
Does he
frog's
sell
head.
it or something for?
I think maybe, yeah.
I think Macabre sells the sour cream off Taco Frog's head, doesn't he? But then he wasted on like booze or something. Said, "Oh, sorry about that. I guess we'll have to figure out another way to get groceries or something like that."
Yeah. So anyway, Chris Grine is a great guy. He also did like it's more of an all age thing too. He did the
Chicken hair.
chicken hair, yeah, which is great. I think there were like two
Two of them, yeah.
volumes of it.
I believe so.
But yeah, definitely check out Wicked Crispy at your own risk.
That's right. It's yeah.
He even like if you
He
follow
warns
him,
you,
he
yeah.
warns you, and he even admits that it's like kind of out there.
My
So.
favorite part of Wicked Crispy are the quotes on the back.
Oh yeah.
So here's the quotes. It says, "I saw a screenshot of this on Instagram, Kyle Strong. This is the comic that made me be more selective about the links I click. Buster Moody. If I had time to read webcomics, I would probably read Wicked Crispy at some point. Alex Grecian. And then I received your text regarding Wicked Crispy, and I see that it exists. Scotty Young.
That's my favorite. I
That
see
is the
that.
best.
I see that it exists. I like that.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, what else we got?
I read Savage Dragon.
Savage Dragon.
I was behind, so I read like 3 issues.
Sweet.
I noticed that you have a letter published in 220.
Oh, do I really? In one of those?
221.
Wow.
You didn't know?
Well, I knew, but I didn't remember what issue.
221.
I've had a few letters.
I know.
From Savage Dragon.
And usually I'll like peruse the letters. I don't read them.
Yeah, unless it's me, you mean?
Yeah, unless it's you. And
Yeah.
so like I'm on the letters page and I'm just kind of skimming and I go, Drew Woodworth. I'm like, oh, well, all right, I don't read that. He actually like responded to you like
Right. I asked some questions.
more
this
than
time.
more than he does to most people. Like this other guy, he wrote a letter that was like
Really long.
half a page, another half, so a full, almost 1.5 full pages, and he got like a 2-sentence response.
Well, the trick I figured out is to ask questions
Yeah.
that require more detailed answers, and he'll usually try and answer them. He likes questions. I
He
believe.
does like questions. I really like Eric Larson. Like I've always really liked Eric Larson,
Sure.
but the Savage Dragon has taken a turn.
Oh,
And what I mean is, like, it's gotten a lot more adult,
yes.
and it's gotten kind of crazy. And at one point, I read 3 issues, and so at one point, one of the letters or something, he's like, you know what? He's like, I don't care anymore. He's like, I like all kinds of comics. I like horror comics. I like heavy metal. I like all genres of comics. And he's like, you know what? And it's almost like he's given up, but he's not given up. Because, like, shocker here for everybody that's listening, if anybody is listening, Savage Dragon is not a huge seller. And Eric Larson will tell you, if you follow him on Facebook, that it's not a huge seller, right? So, like, I think he's just, like, giving up and not giving up. And he's just like, I don't care.
I'm just going to do what I want.
Nobody else is buying it, so I'm doing it for me. And if you like it, cool, buy the book and follow it. But if you don't, at least I'm having fun doing what I want to do. And I think that's freaking awesome.
Well, it's interesting. I follow him on Twitter and Facebook quite a bit, and he was talking about this. He was like, this book is rated M, mature. He's like, that's the highest rating that Image has for a book. So he's like, are there really any like teenagers reading this book or like 12-year-olds? He's like, I don't think so. And it's rated M. So why am I like? He's like, why am I like awkwardly covering up things with like lamps and other things? You know, it's like, we're all adults here. I'm just gonna draw. I'm tired of playing the game. It's like I'm just gonna show what I'm gonna show.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, it's great. I mean, we've always, even when we did the podcast before, we were always like, just Savage Dragon is like the great. It's so good, man. It's just like, and the newest issue is 223, and he's starting like a 3-part series where all it's just like a multiverses are all going to collide together or whatever. And the point I'm trying to get to is like I've been reading this book since day one, like every month or whenever it comes out, I buy it and read it. And his continuity is so screwed up, like I can't keep track of it. And there was like something in there where some guy had written a question, one of the letters pages, and asked him about the continuity, and he's like, you know what? He was basically like, if you pick up the comic and you see Malcolm is now the dragon and he's fighting a battle, he's like, do you really care? Like, who was the dragon before that? He's like, no, it doesn't really matter. Like, so just kind of go with the flow with the continuity.
I mean, there is a lot of continuity, but really, you can just jump in and enjoy it for what it is, and you'll catch up eventually. I mean, that's kind of the fun of it. It's like, okay, I don't understand everything, but just, I know we're in the age where everything is so accessible, like, you want to start everything from the beginning, and it's like, I'm going to watch Doctor Who, I'm going to watch from the very beginning.
Right.
Or whatever, but really, this is the kind of book, just jump in, enjoy it, it's fun, you'll eventually catch up. If you get to where you really like it, go back and pick up some back issues. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and he has it in so many formats. I think he's digital now, isn't he? Does he have digital? Yeah, he has digital copies. He has trades. There's even like those compendium type things, I think, like archives. I think is what he calls them.
Correct.
But but I mean, and you can tell, like, especially with like Savage Dragon, it's a Kirby. I mean.
Yeah, if you like superhero comics, like Kirby-esque stuff, and there's a lot of action, he always managed to have a lot of action in the book, but then also a lot of characterization, too. He does a good balance of it, I think.
Yeah.
And if you like his art, I mean, his art just keeps getting better.
I keep telling myself I want to go back and start reading it from the beginning.
Well, you know, like I said, we used to do this podcast, and we quit for a while. One of the things I did once we quit is I went back and I read my whole Savage Dragon run.
Really?
Because I had I didn't have to worry about reading everything for the podcast, and actually got caught up on a lot of reading.
Do you know all the continuity now?
It's pretty clear in my head, but I mean, as time goes by, it gets a little fuzzier.
Well, and he does a really good job too. Like, he does sort of recaps, like, and I mean, so like I know, and there's stuff really that I've forgotten. Like, I've read it and I've forgotten, and then I'll come back to it and I'll go, oh yeah, I remember that. But like the new, what's her face's mom? Jennifer. Like, I completely forgot that she was like trapped in Dimension X for like 17 years or whatever, and now she's back.
Yeah, well, I think that was a surprise. I don't think we knew that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think it was a surprise. Okay. I think they thought she was dead.
Well, I forgot she died.
Yeah.
And then Dragon married an alternate version of her.
And then she died.
Yeah. It's like, so yeah, it gets kind of crazy, man.
But that's like the point. You're like, it doesn't matter. The point is that they explain this is an alternate version of her, but this is the person that she loved. It's just kind of the same person, and now he's got this big dilemma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all you know, and then you know that you're good.
You are good. You're good.
You're good. What else did you read? I got caught up on Green Valley. I've been reading that. What do you think of Green Valley? It's kind of a weird book.
Here's the thing. I like Camuncoli.
Camuncoli?
Giuseppe Camuncoli.
Yeah.
He did a lot of Spider-Man work the last several years. And I thought that this book was Max Landis is the writer.
Yes. I like Max Landis.
Yeah. And I really liked like the first 2 or 3 issues.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was really cool. Like, the concept of it is really cool. And if you read, I think it was like in the back of the first issue, Max Landis talks about how he came up with the idea, and he was like, I can't believe nobody's done this before.
Yeah.
Like the hook or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, no matter what you think you know, there's no way that you're going to figure out like what the twist is. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, like, I liked it, and I liked the twist, but when I sat down, because I got backed up on some stuff, and I sat down and read 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
Is this like 8 or 9? It's limited.
9 issues.
I think this thing would have been, I think it's too long.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cooler if they would have tightened it up and made it like 5 issues or something.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously with anything, you can make it like an ongoing or whatever.
Sure.
And I'm sure that they can if they want to. But, like, this story arc, I don't know. It just seems way too long to me. Like, like, it could have been done.
It could have been done a little shorter, tighter. But then there's a pretty good, even another twist. in issue
Yeah.
7 that
Yeah.
kind of takes it in a different direction. And
Absolutely.
And once you start getting that sort of twist and complexity, then maybe it did take all the whole thing. You know what I mean?
I just kind of
'Cause
felt
it is
like
kind of like a twist upon the twist upon the twist type of thing.
so I'd read 1 through 4 at some point, and then I sat down and read 5, 6, and 7, and like 5 and 6 just felt like
filler.
oh, let's fight dragons.
Yeah.
T-Rexes and lizards and
Correct,
stuff, and
yeah.
I'm like, okay, I guess that's kind of cool, but I don't need 2 issues of these guys fighting velociraptors.
Well, I read all that stuff in the back too, where he was like, "You're never going to see this coming. This book has so many surprises." It's like, well, it is a cool twist and all, but it's almost like when you say it, it's so hard to live up to something like that, especially someone like us who's read so many good books. And
Well,
seen so
I
many
mean,
twists.
obviously, I didn't see it, and I don't think I've ever read anything like it. So, I mean, like,
Yeah, but
I
there's
couldn't
been
have figured it out.
I mean, maybe something not exactly like that, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's been
So,
similar things.
Basically, what Green Valley is, if nobody's read it, it's published by Image, and it's set in medieval times, I guess. Like,
Yeah, the Knights of Colodia. Or
yeah,
something.
and so like, there's this band of like 4 knights, and they're kind of like the big badasses, like
the heroes,
and
of the
all this
world.
other stuff. And so like at the leader or whatever of the group, he wants to settle down and like be with the love of his life and have like a family, and he's tired of fighting, and like another guy wants to fight, and like so they kind of break up, like they break apart and break up, and then this wizard shows up like out of nowhere, and like, or what is it? Do they come to this? Do they come? Someone comes to them and says, "Hey, our town's under siege or something. And
Well,
will
you missed
come
the
help
very
us?"
first issue where basically their town gets ransacked and they all get kind of beat up, and I think the one guy's wife gets killed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how the series starts, and so they're kind of like,
Oh,
broken
okay. So
heroes.
that's why they're broken.
and then someone comes and says, "Hey, our town's been, being attacked by all these weird things," and like,
and they
what?
want to hire them or whatever.
Yeah, and they're
to
like,
come.
"No, we're not. We don't do that anymore. We got our butts kicked.
Okay,
we're
right.
broken and sad and."
Well, didn't they break up though at the beginning, and that's why the guy?
Yeah, I
was
think the
with
one
his
guy
wife?
was.
The one
yeah, I
guy
think he
kind of
was-
went off
He
on
wanted
his
to be
own.
retired, and he was kind of thinking about it. He was, going to retire,
Gotcha.
and then that night their town got attacked,
Got
and his
okay.
wife got.
I remember that now. And so, and then that's where the twist comes in. They go to the town,
And to try to save this. Town.
try to save this town.
There's some weird stuff going on. We
Yeah.
don't want to spoil any more than that, but that's the basic setup, and it does have a lot of good twists. The art by Giuseppe Kamakuri, how do you say his name?
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good story. Like I said, I just felt like when I sat down and read 5 and 6,
Then it kind of fell.
it kind of
I agree. It's like a lot of stories. It's really hard, that middle arc, to kind of really keep it focused and moving. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think that's very typical. But
Yeah.
It's the lull before the big finish.
Did you pick up Octane Bloodstain
I did.
and Downfall?
I did.
So these were Octane Bloodstain is going to be Kyle Strom from Spread fame, I guess. It's like he was at Planet, 2 weeks ago? 3
Yeah, and
weeks
you had a
ago?
bunch of these teasers.
And he had some preview books, but this is his new book that I think he is writing and drawing.
Correct.
I liked it. I mean, it's
I thought
only
it was really
like
good.
it was only like 4, 5, 6 pages. I
It is a
think
little bit longer
maybe
than that, wasn't
maybe it was 8. I'm not sure, but
It seemed longer than that.
but it's really cool. I mean, it's like Mad Max.
Yeah, it's like
kind
Mad Max.
of.
It feels very Mad Max-ish to
And
me.
I really like his art in this book. Like, I think he really shines on
I really
this.
like Kyle Strom's art in period, but he doesn't draw as much, so it's kind of cool seeing, because he hasn't been drawing Spread,
Right.
and so it's kind of cool seeing him do something again.
Yeah.
But
But,
someone commented when he posted, he's like, "Oh, that's finally coming out. You've been working on that forever." So I think this has kind of been like maybe his pet project. He's been working on it
Right.
for a long time. But
And it seems like, I don't know if he posted it on Facebook, but I've seen some of those images before. And
Oh, that could be.
I don't know. But it was I really liked it.
yeah, I
and
like the
I'm
art. I
really-
thought the writing was really good too. Like
Yeah.
it was really well paced, and I thought the dialogue. I just thought all in all it was really solid.
Yeah, very, very cool.
I can't wait to see if he's able to, keep it coming out.
Yeah.
I hope it's successful so he can do it.
And then the other one it's called Downfall, and he had another convention teaser, and this is written by Cullen Bunn and Kyle Strom. And then Baltimore,
You get the text?
sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got
In the middle of the
distracted.
Podcasts.
Baltimore Revis is the artist on this, and obviously, like, Kyle is local. Well, he's from Kansas City, but we see him a lot at local conventions and stuff. And I talked to Kyle, and he told me that this has been picked up by Image already, this series.
Yes.
This Downfall. And, Baldemar Rivas is just crazy good, like, art-wise.
And he's a newcomer. I think he's started out, but he's coming out fully formed. He's doing really good stuff. And so this book is, I think it's like about a virus or something, right? Like a disease that's ransacking the world. Or
I
part
think
of the
so.
world.
Like, I read it.
It's kind of like a plague type story or something.
Yeah.
And then,
but it's
cool.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Once again, in the back, Colin Bunn says something. Oh, we came up with the coolest twist or something to this book. It's just going to blow everybody's mind. I'm like, that's cool. I'm glad you're excited, and I'm glad but don't say that because it just builds it up too much. You know what I mean? I've seen that happen a few times.
And it's got more of a horror twist to it, I think.
Which makes
Colin
sense.
Bunn
does a lot of horror.
is starting to do a lot of horror, has done a lot of horror.
Well, Kyle Strom's kind of a horror guy, too. He spreads horror.
Right.
Horror.
Horror.
So, Downfall. It's pretty cool. I liked it. Like I said, it was just 8-pager or something. It wasn't very long.
Yeah, but it was really cool.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Me neither. The new Fairyland, I read I Hate Fairyland.
This was one of my favorite issues of I Hate Fairyland. What did you think?
This is so awesome, dude.
This is one of the
It's
better
like
ones.
so perfect. Like I'm sitting here reading it, and I'm going, dude, where did he come up with making how do you just sit and figure that out? You know what I mean? Like, the mushrooms are samurais?
Yeah, because they have the mushroom heads,
mushroom
so it looks like
heads,
they're
and
wearing
they
the
look
samurai
like
hats.
samurai hats. I'm like,
Yes.
I'm like, how did you come up with this?
So she's basically, I Hate Fairyland, if you don't know. It's the story of Gertrude. And it's kind of like a Wizard of Oz story in that there's a girl trapped in like a fairyland, like a Wizard of Oz type land.
But she's been there for
But the hook is she's been there for 30 years?
30 years.
But she's trapped as a little girl. But
Yeah.
she's been there for 30 years, so she's older. So she drinks and cusses and kills things. She has a big battle axe. She has a really bad attitude because she's trying to get out of fairyland. She's been stuck here for 30 years, and so she hates it,
Yeah.
And so she has this really bad attitude. And the first few arcs of the story, it was basically just her going around exploring fairyland and causing havoc. Well, now I guess this last arc, she's trying to be good or something. Is the hook?
The last issue 11 was the comic book convention. Well, the spiff on the comic book convention.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But she's turned a new leaf. Now she wants to be good.
Yeah, because I think she thinks it will help her get out of fairyland.
Yeah,
right? It's always about her.
Well,
even when she's being good, it's
always
for
about
selfish
her.
intentions.
But the funny thing is, because at the very beginning, there's a clear path for her to get out.
Yeah,
and she's just been not following that path.
Correct.
Like she complains about being there, but it would be so easy for her. Seemingly it would be so easy for her to leave.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. In fact, there was I think the second story arc, wasn't it, where there was another person that was trapped there, and they were trying to race to get to the end, so one of them could get away or whatever. And they just zipped through all that stuff in an issue or whatever that she hadn't done for 30 years.
Correct. Yeah. So she's not very good at getting out either.
No.
But anyway, in this one, she's breaking into this village of these mushroom samurais trying to rescue this baby who's a grub. It's like a grub baby.
They're the Shiitakes.
Shiitakes.
The Shiitake clan or whatever.
So she rescues the baby, puts on her back like Lone Wolf and Cub style. So she's fighting samurais, got a baby on her back. It's kind of like a Lone Wolf and Cub kind of riff.
Well, it's so awesome too because she has it's like a Jiminy Cricket that follows her around.
Yeah.
But he's smokes cigars and drinks all the time, and she drives him crazy. She drives him crazy, but she keeps calling herself a ninja, and he keeps
You're a samurai.
He keeps reminding her that she's a samurai and not a ninja.
Correct.
So she rescues this grub.
This baby, and she's on her way out, and of course the mushroom samurai stop her. And there's
there's
a double-page spread of them just popping off from all the rooftops coming down. There's 100 of them trying to stop her. Of course, she doesn't care. She's pretty much invincible.
So she's like, I'm saving this baby. I'm taking it back to its mother. And she's like, but I'm good now. so I'm not going to attack you unless you hurt me first. And so they show this dude, and he just throws like 50 star shurikens or whatever, and they all just stick in her. like thump, 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 like all
son of a lick.
Lich. I love that, man. And this is like, oh, it's on now.
And then they have this cool double page spread, but it's not a double page spread, but it's double page. I guess it's double page, but it's got panels. But there's this cool, like, long panel of like his face saying something and her face. It feels very
it's very anime. Very anime, like moving and not moving.
Yeah, and then there's another one of it. It's really cool.
It's like 3 pages long, of like 6 pages
of these faces talking or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it keeps getting closer and closer, like zooming in on their eyes.
Yeah.
And then they're rushing at each other on these long panels or whatever. It's really cool.
Yeah.
The way it's done. And then, of course, it's Havoc. She mauls them all.
She kills them all. She kills them all. And then they're all dead, and there's one big, giant dude left.
And so she brings the baby grub back to her mother, and then her mother eats it.
Spoiler alert. End of the story. We just ruined it. But yeah, so the baby... The mama grub eats the baby so that she can survive the hibernation or whatever. And then she's like,
so does that still count as a good act?
She's like, oh, so the shiitake guys were actually trying to protect the kid, and I saved the shiitake and brought it back, and so like she's trying to be good and she still screws it up.
Exactly.
But oh my god, yeah, it was really good.
It was one of my favorites.
That book is so good.
Yeah.
Anything
else you got that we both read?
No, not that we both read.
Alright, I guess you can do one, then I'll do one.
Alright, and this is gonna be... Okay, so
are you gonna say it's gonna be fast?
I'll make it fast.
You can't make it fast.
I can try to make it fast. I'll make it fairly fast. Okay, this is Providence by Alan Moore and Jason Burrows. It's Avatar, and it's a 12-issue series, but it came out like bi-monthly, so it's like been 2 years, and issue 12 just came out. Like I just got it in my last shipment. So I started to read it like 2 years ago, and I thought, this is an Alan Moore book, and it's going to take 2 years to come out, so I'm going to save them all up and just read them when they all come out, type thing. And so that's what I started doing now. I actually started reading these, and then I talked to you, and you're like, let's do the podcast. And I'm like... And these books are insane. Like, it literally takes me almost 30 minutes to an hour, because he has, like, 10 to 12 pages of prose, like, in the back of each issue.
Ouch.
Yeah. And
that's
so,
like real reading.
So, like, I gave up on trying to read Providence for the podcast, and then read what little I've read for the podcast that we just talked about. But it's a very cool story. It's very Alan Moore-ish. It's set in, like, the 1920s, and there's, like, this newspaper, this guy that works for this newspaper, but he wants to be, he, like, always wanted to write a novel, blah, 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 type of thing. And I'm saying type of thing a lot. But anyway, so he finds out about this book. It's called, and this book actually exists. It's called The King in Yellow, I guess. And it was published like back in the 1800s, like the late 1800s. But it almost reminds me of like The Ring, because like this book that was published like back in 1895 like was banned, and like everybody said that it was terrible, because it was basically just like the stories were supposed to be so scary and so horrible that if you read the book it would drive you crazy, like madness, like you would lose your mind and like kill yourself after reading this book. And so the writer is kind of digging into that and like doing research to try to write a book, and it's got ties into like Cthulhu or whatever you call, like was that Poe that did Cthulhu?
No, it was Lovecraft.
Lovecraft, I'm sorry. So it's very Lovecraftian. It's very Cthulhu-ish. I've only read 25% of the story, but I'm interested and I want to see where it goes. It's really cool, but it is like a chore, because you get like it reads really fast when you read the story.
Yeah.
But then and it's kind of monotonous, because like the guy that the story is about, like in the back of it, it's like his journal. But his journal is basically a summary of what I just read in the issue.
Oh, nice.
But it's like him in like diary form or whatever. And so then like even like the third issue, like it had some of his journal, but then he goes to this place and he gets like these pamphlets from this guy. And so it like reprints the pamphlet. And so like you're reading like just part of it. Well, that's the third. It's in the second one. But you're reading like this pamphlet and it's like, I know, I was talking to you.
Okay.
But it's literally like 10 pages of like this.
Yeah.
Like out of this pamphlet that he picks up and he's reading about it. And I'm like, oh my God. like I don't mind reading. Like I like to read. But like I said, it's very Alan Moore-ish. I mean, it's very dense. It's very, very time consuming. But I like it a lot. So
Sure.
my goal is to maybe read a few issues for each podcast.
Sure.
And then, but like I said, I don't really have, it's really 3 issues and it's really just kind of set up for the most part right now.
Yeah.
But Providence, it's been collected. I think they did like every 4 issues they would put out like a hardcover,
Okay.
like a thin hardcover. So I think there's like probably 3 hardcovers now. I'm sure it's been collected in trades. I'm sure you can pick them up somewhere. But it was funny because I was like reading in the back. I read the first issue and I was looking at the indicia or whatever, and it was like May of 2015, and I'm like, holy crap! It really did take 2 years to publish this book.
Hold those things for a while.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't want to talk about anything that you're reading because you wouldn't have read
Okay.
it. You read Black Hammer, right?
I do.
That's a good book. Everybody should be checking that out.
Yes.
Do you read Helena Crash?
No, I don't even know what that is.
All right, so Helena Crash is a book by Fabian Rangel Jr. again, and it's drawn by Warwick Johnson Cadwell. And I picked this up because I've heard from indie guys that this guy's kind of cool, and I've kind of been trying to read some more Fabian Rangel because I haven't really read a lot of his stuff. But this guy's got a really cool art style. It's got this really weird flatness to it. Like the art looks very flat.
Oh yeah.
Like he draws like cars. I can't really even describe it, but it's just got this really two-dimensional feel. And the coloring is very flat too, so it just has this, you know what I mean? It's just really
I'm
weird.
looking at it.
But it's interesting. And so it's called Helena Crash, but it's basically kind of a future thing. There's a lot of cars, but the cars are kind of like old looking. Like it's future, but it's like throwback, And like the main thing in the book is coffee is illegal. And so Helena Crash is basically like a coffee courier, like a smuggler of coffee like around town. And so she basically just goes around on different missions and stuff trying to deliver coffee. But there's like, it's like coffee's like the drug or whatever, and so there's like different like mob bosses trying to like pull them her way, and so she's like caught between them, It's cool, but like I said, it's interesting. I like it, and I like the art, but the art's just a little different than what I'm used to, and so it's almost like I feel like I'm not sophisticated enough to get it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, or maybe whatever, but I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna keep. It's only 4 issues, so I've been picking it up.
Gotcha.
And I think this was a book that like Jim Rugg like recommended on like his Facebook or something. He said, "Check this book out." So I
It's
checked
very
it out.
weird that they pick coffee to be illegal.
Yeah, right. But anyway, it's funny in the very back they have the 3 creators sitting there drinking coffee. Yeah. So anyway, it's a fun book. It's only 4 issues. IDW. I'm sure they'll put out a trade. But if you're kind of into like indie stuff that's like a little different, a little out there, this would be a good book to kind of check out. I think.
Gotcha.
It's pretty interesting.
Have you read all that stuff?
Yeah, it's all the stuff
okay.
I've read.
Are you all caught up then?
Yeah, I read my single issues first. I read all my single issues. I have a bunch of hardcovers I need to read.
What do you think of Doom Patrol?
Okay.
I dropped it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Alright, so here's the thing with Doom Patrol. I really like the creators. I like Gerard Way
I
a
do
lot.
too.
I loved that book he did. What was it called?
Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, that thing was awesome.
Loved it. And I love Nick Darrington's art in this Doom Patrol. But I never read the old Doom Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know that I don't understand what's going on in this book at all.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out
but
either.
what I think I'm going to do, maybe if I have time, I'll do it for next podcast. I'm going to sit down and read all 6 because that's like the end of the arc, Like this is the end of the arc.
Yeah.
And just see if I can decipher it because I don't want to drop it because I think it's got a lot of potential and I think it's really cool. But if you're a fan of like Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, which I really wasn't, I don't know if you were.
I've never read it.
I've read some of it, but I never really got into it. I think you'd like this because it's kind of that same kind of weird, kind of out
Yeah.
there feel. But yeah, like I said, it's just reading it issue to issue. It's been really hard to figure out what's going on.
I actually sat down like maybe a month or two ago and I read the first DC archive of Doom Patrol, of the old Doom Patrol,
old,
like
old
the
Doom,
original Doom Patrol from like the 60s.
Yeah.
And then I dug out a few, because I have bits and pieces of the Grant Morrison stuff, but I've never read all of it. And so, like, I started doing, I read like a couple issues of that, but I just could not get into, if you want to talk about Descender, I dropped that book too.
What? Okay. But finish your thought.
Oh, I was going to say, I read maybe 3 or 4 issues of the new Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened on anything. Like I could tell you, it could probably tell you more about the archive of the old stuff that I read.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of basic, you know,
Sure.
it's 60s, whatever,
Sure.
Silver Age stuff. But I couldn't even begin to explain anything that happened in the 3 or 4 issues of the new Doom Patrol. So
Well,
I just kind of gave up with
I
out of
like the
frustration.
creators and I like the art enough that I want to kind of try and figure it out. So I'm going to try and do a deeper delve.
I
You know what
gotcha.
I mean?
And
Because sometimes books take that, but sometimes you don't want to put.
Yeah.
You don't, as a reader, you don't want to put forth that effort.
well, the thing of it is too. I mean, if people listen that used to listen, I buy a lot of comic books. Like I have a problem, and I'm always trying to like. I'm kind of at the point where if I don't want to go through the effort. You know what I mean?
I understand.
On certain things I do, but on this it was just like, it's another book. It's another $4 a month. It's like, I don't want to mess with it and I'm sort of kind of getting to the point where if there's something that I want to catch up on later, I'll just buy a trade or I'll buy the issues or something.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Because I've got plenty of stuff to read right now.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Cinder, I can't believe you dropped this.
I dropped it
This is issue
because
21.
the story was okay.
Yeah.
And okay, I really appreciate Dustin Wynn, and I appreciate that book is watercolored.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna sound like such an ass right now. Like the last few issues that I read, I just looked at that book and I'm like, I really can't believe that it's being published. Like I think the art, I think it's cool that he's doing his thing. It didn't look. I don't know. There was something about it that just didn't. The one thing that I do love about it is that you can tell that he does it on watercolor paper.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can tell,
Like the
with the
graininess.
little bumps and stuff, which
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The story was okay, and I'm a big Jeff Lemire fan, but it was just like another book, and I was kind of getting lost in it.
Yeah.
And I would pick up an issue and go, I don't remember what happened. I sort of know what's going on,
Yeah.
but it just didn't grab me as far as like the story wise. Like it didn't engage me enough. And finally, I was just like, I'm done with it. So I just dropped it.
Well, here's your counterpoint. All right, so I like Descender a lot. I really like Jeff Lemire. I'm not a huge Dustin Wynn fan. Like, I understand the appeal of watercolor, but I don't really like watercolor that much in my comics. I mean, I don't love the look of that. I know some people really get into it. I'll tolerate it. I don't mind as long as the storytelling's good. But like, I'm not in love with the watercolor look, to be honest. It's never really
Right.
been my thing. And so I definitely don't buy this book for the art necessarily, although I think the storytelling's good and I think it's well done. It's just not really my taste.
Right.
How about that? I like
Well-
a little more of a vibrant color scheme
Yeah.
or whatever.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like you're flipping through that book, and there was like a page where it was just all pink.
Yeah. Sure.
And I mean, I understand that, and that's cool. Like I get that as far as like why it's that way, and it's okay. But I mean, like it's like the page where it was all blue. Like here, it's just like a few, and I really don't want to slam an artist.
Well, he's watching like a screen. That's what that is.
Is it well? Okay.
It's like a video screen. That's why
well,
it's blue.
there's stuff in there that's just like
But yeah, it's.
I can't do that. So I mean, I admire it and like I appreciate it for what it is, but it's just like I don't know. It's really hard to like express it in
Sure,
words.
and if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I like the story of this book enough, and I feel like it's got enough moving pieces. It's a very slow burn. Like I think this
It is
book,
very, very,
I think
very
this book
slow.
probably reads a lot better in the trade.
Yeah, I bet it does too.
I will say though, I don't get lost. Like a lot of books I read month to month, I can't remember what happened. This one, I don't have that problem. So either the characters are memorable enough, or Jeff Lemire is a good enough writer that he leaves me enough little breadcrumbs as I read it to understand, keep up with the story and what's going on.
I seem to have what is that, like 23 or
21?
21?
Yeah.
I think I had a pretty good grasp on it for like 10, 12 issues, and then somewhere I think I just lost it.
But it's got a lot of, like I said, I really like the story. I like the characterization. I think he's doing a really good job with the slow burn of really fleshing out the characters and making them all distinct and have their own voices and own different struggles and what they're doing in the story and why they act the way they act. I just feel like it's really well done. I'm not in love with the art, but there's a lot of books where the story's really good that I don't have to be in love with the art as long as the art is good enough to tell the story, and I feel like it is here. And they're getting ready for a 5-part event.
Oh, nice.
The Rise of the Robots. So I think it's kind of coming to like more of a head a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, we'll see how that goes. But I really like it. I'll probably keep buying this book until it's done, I'm guessing. Just because I like Jeff Lemire and I like the story. I think it's like a science fiction thing for people who don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like a little boy robot, kind of like an AI thing, if you ever saw that movie AI. So he's kind of like the last boy robot, and people are all after him. And the question is he sentient? Is he not sentient? And then there's this big thing with that. Now there's like a whole faction of robots. See, there were like robots, and then the robots like turned against everybody, and so there's this big robot purge, and this little boy robot escaped. But there's also a secret faction of robots out there in the universe who have like spaceships who are getting ready to like attack the humans. So it's to be like a big robot human war with this little boy caught in the middle. He has like a robot dog, and then the boy robot was meant as a companion to a boy, and the boy he was a companion to, they got separated. Now the boy is now like a 20-some-year-old kid who's like a smuggler, who's kind of like a Han Solo character, and he's trying to find the boy because it was like his childhood friend. So it's got a lot of cool stuff going on, and it's got a lot of influences from other things, but yet they're all kind of crammed into this book, and it's just got a lot of, and the characters are really well designed, like visually. Like if you just look at this cover, like there's all these different characters. And they have really cool,
like the cover.
visual.
I like the cover. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think, like, I'm sitting here listening to you talk, and I'm trying to think in my head, like, I don't want to say that I'm slamming the art, but it almost seems to me like as you're flipping through it and as I think about it, it's almost like, it almost feels to me like it might be rushed a little bit.
I don't think it is.
Like,
I think that's just the style.
It's hard for him to keep up with a watercolor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a taste thing. I mean, do you like the art in Low?
Yeah. Oh my God, I love the art.
Because that's kind of got a weird kind of paintery type of feel to it too, and it's got a lot of
but it's
of mess in it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of.
But it's not watercolor.
It's not. It's different, but it's got that. Same...
Is that Tocini?
Yeah, Tocini.
It looks different.
It's not. It's Tocini. Anyway, so that's really all the comics I'm going to talk about. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Did you hear? There's a couple of news things. Did you see that?
What the remake or the new
Hellboy
Blade?
is getting rebooted.
Yeah,
that was the big one.
Who's playing him?
That guy. I guess he was in Stranger Things, which I never saw.
You never watched Stranger Things?
No.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know. He was in something else because he looks familiar, but I can't remember now.
Yeah, everybody. Some people are all ticked off about it.
Why is it R-rated?
Because they want an R-rated Hellboy.
Well, here's the only thing that's weird about that. Like, I understand, like, I have no problem with R-rated comic book adaptations, but the Hellboy comic never felt R-rated to me. Like, I would almost give that to, like, a 12-year-old and be like, there's nothing really bad in this book.
Right.
There's no cussing, there's not, like, a lot of violence, like bloody violence. It's not, like, over the top. There's no adult situations. It's just kind of like monsters and Hellboy. It's, like, I would think that'd be right in a sweet spot for, like, a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so why make it R-rated?
When was Hellboy made? Like the movie?
The movie?
Yeah.
What, 2000 or something?
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah, movies
90s.
have come a long way. I just recently watched Hellboy 2.
I like it.
Re-watched Hellboy 2
I
with
watched
Golden
it
Army.
recently. You didn't like it?
Not a huge fan. I mean,
It was okay. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it.
I don't think... I like Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
I just don't think he did a very good job as Hellboy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
I need to... Yeah, I know. Like, he was just at Planet like 2 weeks ago and everybody lost their crap, to like get his autographs and stuff. I don't know. It seemed like... I don't know what it was. Like, I remember seeing the Golden Army, like, watching it, like, when it first came out, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, like, at that time. and rewatching it 15 years later didn't really seem to help it. I seem to remember that I liked the first one,
Yeah.
like the first Hellboy movie.
Sure.
I don't know, it was just weird, like, and I guess like that whole movie, he's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he's just a pain in the ass, and he wants to break the rules, and he wants to be famous, and I don't remember any of that from the Hellboy comic book.
Sure.
Now, maybe, like, the BPRD stuff, because
Yeah.
I haven't read a lot of that, but I don't know that he was in it. I know they're doing a lot of BPRD stuff now,
Yeah.
but, I mean, it's just, that whole movie was just him just trying to be Hellboy and be famous, and the main guy that's running the thing is just like, no, we have to be a secret, we can't, and I've got to cover all this stuff up, and Hellboy's just walking down the street like blowing up
He does
monsters.
seem like he is a
and stuff.
pain. Yeah,
He's just
no,
a
I can
pain in
see.
the ass.
He's got a
you know?
complex in that movie.
It's like,
No, you're right, because I have seen it recently, and you're right.
And him and Liz,
Yeah,
like, they're together, but all they do is fight.
yeah.
And she kicks him out, and then he kicks her out, and they got like 1 million cats living with them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just
Compared to the comics, it is kind of its own thing. It does have
yeah,
a
it's like
totally
it seemed
different
almost
feel.
more campy, like the 1960s Batman series,
Yeah.
like funny campy stuff.
Yeah.
And like the book series, the comic book was more dark. Like when
Yeah.
Mignola did it, it was all dark and witches and all this other stuff. It was like all creepy stuff, and it was like the Golden Army was like more kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
And it sounds like, because the director Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman, they wanted to do Hellboy 3 and make it even a bigger budget and they probably wanted to make it more spectacle, more superhero-ish and stuff. Well, I
Yeah.
bet Mike Mignola maybe wants to take it down a notch and be just kind of more creepy and more horror.
yeah, because I mean
And
that's
so maybe that's the deal, and that's cool. I mean, I can totally see rebooting something and kind of doing it in a different direction. It's kind of like how Todd McFarlane keeps talking about doing a Spawn movie. He wants to
Yeah.
make like a horror, like a scary Spawn movie,
yeah.
as opposed to like the superhero Spawn movie.
It
Now, I
could-
don't know if he can pull it off, but the filmmaker, the guy who's directing the Hellboy movie, I think he did like some. He directed some of Game of Thrones. I mean, he's got a pretty
really?
good. He's got pretty good cred, as
Yeah.
far as accomplishments or whatever.
Maybe it's Deadpoolitis, man. Deadpool was a rated R
That's my
movie,
fear.
and now
It's like
everybody just
everybody
wants to
got
go rated
beat
R
at
because
R.
Logan. I haven't seen Logan,
Yeah,
and it was rated R.
That's
And
true.
Everybody loved it though.
yeah.
Like, well, the few people in
I
my
liked it. I
circle
enjoyed
that
Logan.
I talked to thought
I
it
mean, I
was
didn't think
the
it was
best
the greatest thing
Wolverine
ever,
movie.
but it was fun. It was good, and yeah, I mean, and I can see Logan being R because he can really some of the Wolverine comics could be rated R just from violence,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what this movie was trying to do. Like
Right.
the Old Man Logan miniseries was definitely rated R. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's bloody as hell or whatever. So
I don't know.
I
And
don't
then
either.
I saw something. I haven't watched the trailer yet, but it was supposed to drop Monday. The new Blade Runner movie.
oh yeah, I
Like they're
watched
doing-
part of the trailer.
They're doing like Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah,
or
2049.
something.
It looks pretty good.
Looks like Harrison Ford's in it still.
Yeah, he's in it, and then Ryan Gosling is like the young guy in it. He's
Yeah.
like the.
That'd be cool.
The
I love
Blade
that
Runner.
movie.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. It should be cool. I think it'll be good. We'll see.
Did you see Guardians?
I did. Did you see Volume
I-
2?
I haven't
I
seen
haven't
it.
seen it yet. Cool.
Everybody I've talked to said that they loved it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's good. I mean, it's more the same. If you like the first one, you'll like the second one.
That's what I heard.
I mean, if you hated the first one, you won't like the second one.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
All right. Well, I guess next time I'll try to be more prepared.
Did you look at previews? You want to get into the previews?
I did, but there wasn't a whole lot in it.
Yeah.
It looked like
It was a light month for
manageable
me.
month for me.
Yeah, I think I actually was. I was like doing my order. I'm like, dude, I'm not like breaking the bank. Well, there weren't any big hardcovers.
Yeah.
Except
that's
for
what's-
Low, and I buy that in single issue, so I'm really on the fence whether I should buy the
Yeah.
hardcover.
Was this the month that the gun? No, that was last month.
Oh, the six gun. That thing killed me,
Sixth
man.
gun.
$60.
That I bought. I think it might have been last month. I pre-ordered. Well, I pre-ordered the Authority Volume 1 Absolute.
Oh wow, I thought you already had that.
I have the second one.
Oh.
But I could never get the first one
'Cause
because it was out of print. And anywhere I could find it, they wanted like $300 for
Of
it.
course, it's out of print.
And so I picked that up. I think that might have been the same because it was crazy. I bought like that, and then there was the sixth gun, like Volume 4 hardcover, and wasn't there like what's another book that I buy hardcover? I don't remember, but there were a lot of them. But yeah, I was flipping through that, and I kind of got excited about this Wildstorm thing or whatever on the front, and then when I read the solicitation for it, it looks like it's just a book full of pinups or something. I don't know. It's like a hardcover of like pinups.
Well, yeah, well, it's a celebration of 25 years, a new hardcover starring. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it didn't sound great when I read the solicitation for it. And then what's this whole new Batman? I know you don't buy Batman, but
Yeah.
I would like them to put out another Lock and Key hardcover. I think I have 2.
I just have the first one. I think they put out 2 of them. Have they not put out all of them?
No, they haven't put out all of them. Like, how hard is it to crank that out? It's already done. They've put it in so many formats.
Because Lock and Key is.
They put it in so many different formats. It's like, crank those things out, man.
Yeah, that is weird. Oh, I'm excited. Mage is restarting.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I met Matt Wagner at C2E2.
At C2E2, nice.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever met him before.
He's always at San Diego.
And I had him autograph a couple things, and I had him sign my Grendel thing, and he did like a little sketch in my Grendel.
Did you just do the lightning bolt?
No, this was a Grendel. It was
nice.
I think it was Grendel. I'm not sure.
Cool. No, I know nothing about the whole Dark Days or Batman thing. I think somehow it has something to do with Watchmen and the button or something.
But when I met Riley Rossmo,
yeah,
it was very weird because like I couldn't hear him at all.
Yeah.
Because I think it was loud, and so like he would ask me questions and I couldn't hear him, and I had to keep asking him to repeat it. And then when I would talk to him, like, so it was just awkward. Like, I love Riley Rossmo, and I usually don't get like now. Like, I used to be really apprehensive to like go up to anybody. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I've done it for so long, and I kind of know.
You feel like you can make conversation.
I feel like
with
I can make
them
conversation
without sounding like a complete moron
with almost anybody.
Sure.
But this was one that was just weird. Like, he was great. Like, he was nice. There was nothing wrong with him. It was just like around and everything. Like, I don't know what it was. And of course, I'm like, and I love Riley Rossmo, and I was a little nervous, and so I was like, what are you working on now? And he's like, the Batman. And I'm like, oh yeah, that Batman thing.
Did
like,
you actually know, or you just?
Well, I think I remember. Like, it clicked a little bit in my brain
Batman.
that he was working on doing a Batman project.
Yeah.
But no, he was a really nice guy.
Cool.
To meet. And it was. I probably would have been able to sit there and talk to him for an hour, but I kind of bailed. Like, I had a couple things for him to autograph, and like it just started off bad, and it didn't get better for some reason. I mean, it was through no fault of mine or his. Like, neither one of us were like a jerk or anything, but it was just weird. And of course, I had him sign my Cowboy Ninja Viking number 1. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I love that book. Like, it's awesome. And then I had him sign my Rasputin number 1 because I had Alex Grecian sign it, so it was like double sign.
Nice.
But
Rasputin, that's a good book.
Yeah, that was a good book. So.
Well, yeah, there's not too much in the previews. Are you buying much DC these days?
Probably more than I should. I'm buying Batman. I actually dropped All-Star Batman.
What? That's a Scott Snyder book.
Thing was like all over the place. The story was not like they would do stories, and I guess I'm not into anthology type stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they would do like 3-issue story arc or whatever, and that I'm really interested in getting, but probably not what I'm going to dump money on. Because I've never read any of that
Swamp
stuff.
Thing, the Bronze Age Omnibus.
Yeah, I think that would be. I think it would be a cool book to.
Be cool. $100
to sit down and read. Yeah, I know.
It's probably not even on good paper either.
Dude, there's like this. Like, I don't get this at all.
Absolute Justice League, the origin hardcover. $100. If you really like Jim Lee and the Justice League.
And then, okay, so that's like what? It's an absolute though.
Yeah.
And it's how many pages?
360.
And then this is
500. Justice League: The Dark Side.
512 pages and it's $75. But I guess that's an absolute, so it's bigger.
That's bigger. Yeah, one's 8.5 by 12. The other one is probably more standard size. So, I'm not buying any DC right now.
I'm buying Batman. I'm buying very little of the Vertigo. Let me see this real quick.
I should just take my
Since I didn't bring mine.
Yeah.
Well, you asked me if I'm buying any DC stuff.
I asked you, and you just took my
I would really like to get that Bat Signal prop
Would you?
replica, but it's like $300. It's not like $300. It is $300.
Wow.
Astro City. I think that's it for Wildstorm right now. And like
That's
I'm
all they're
buying.
putting out.
Yeah, I know. And I'm buying like Batman. I really don't think I'm buying anything else except. Well, I've been buying. What's the bug?
Oh, I didn't buy that. It looks kind of cool.
It's all red. The Commandy Challenge. I'm buying that.
Oh, really? Is that any good?
I've only read like the first 2, I think, but it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I was just mad because they didn't have Tom Shirley or Eric Larson.
Yeah. I bailed on that Wildstorm, but it kind of looks sort of cool. I wish maybe I would have bought that, but
So, like, you started buying it and bailed?
no, I
you
didn't
just
buy it
didn't.
at all.
That's
But
not really bailing.
some of the solicits look well. Okay, I didn't
You
jump.
opted
I
not
opted
to jump
not
on.
to jump on.
All right, that's
And then
slightly
like Batman related stuff, like Batman the Shadow and the Bane. I'm buying that, the Bane Conquest. But I think that's it. I don't really think there's any.
different.
anything.
You don't have to flip through the whole previews. You know how I feel
I'm
about
just-
front page flipping.
I'm just trying to
Trying to what? Flip
see
all
if
the
there's
pages?
anything that I buy. I don't.
It's like my pet peeve.
Like I dumped everything.
Nice. Yeah,
Like
the only,
Deathstroke.
the
I
only
dumped
Marvel book I'm
that.
buying is Moon Knight. And I think it's almost over.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I did sign back up for Marvel Unlimited though. So
Marvel what?
Unlimited. You
Oh.
can read them on the iPad. It's
I
like a
buy.
monthly fee
I buy more Marvel. I obviously buy more Marvel.
in DC.
I buy like Thor,
Oh, you're chasing Aaron.
Spider Man.
Are you staying on Doctor Strange?
No,
now
they
that Aaron
changed.
jumped
Hey, why
off?
did he jump off?
I think he was done.
I heard an interview with him a long time ago. He's like, "I'll write Doctor Strange until they kick me off of it. This is
Maybe
like
they
the
kicked him
greatest
off.
book." No, I saw that they weren't doing it. And I'm not a huge Doctor Strange guy,
Yeah,
but
I
with
tried to read
Bacalo
some
and
of it.
Aaron,
Yeah.
they were keeping my attention,
Sure.
like barely.
Barely.
And then they're like
I'm
not
a huge
doing
Doctor
it.
Strange guy either. I don't know. Like I tried to read some of that arc, and I read some of it. And it's good. Like you said, how can you go wrong with Bacalo and Aaron? But it's still Doctor Strange, which just doesn't do much for me.
Yeah. And then like even the movie, like did you see Doctor Strange?
I thought the movie was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
It was weird because like I'm not a huge Doctor Strange fan, so like I didn't know, like I knew that like he was a surgeon and like his hands got all messed up and then he went somewhere and learned mystic arts or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to watch the movie and not know the origin,
Every
so
single
like
detail,
every single
yeah.
detail, so it was like a little bit better. And I thought it was okay, but I mean everybody was like, "Oh, this was the greatest
Well, I
movie
think
ever."
you saw it on video though, right?
I saw it on DVD.
Yeah, I think it was really cool. People saw it in IMAX or 3D with all those visuals of like
Yeah.
this. I think that's what made that movie, from what I understand. So I mean, I think it really wasn't one of those movies that was a way different experience in the theater or in
Right.
IMAX or 3D than it was on video.
Gotcha.
But
That makes sense.
that's all I got. So.
Yeah, that's all I got, I guess.
All right. Well, this is our second inaugural. We're rebooting with the new number one. We took about we're gone for a couple years.
Yeah,
Crazy.
crazy
So-
man.
We're gonna try and keep to a bi-weekly schedule. I don't think we'll have any problem with that.
Hopefully it'll be around 8:45
So,
/ 9ish every
Thanks for
other
everybody
Wednesday.
Thanks for everybody who tuned in and listened. And obviously, it'll be up on our page, so you can go in and listen. It is odd that it's a live video, but you're only hearing us because we just do audio, really. And supposedly, Facebook is supposed to have an audio live option they're rolling out. It's just not available yet.
Hmm.
When that rolls out, we can just do the audio. But right now, live is the only option. Or Facebook
We could
video
do.
live.
I was talking about that earlier. We could do like a little stand and we could prop up the book we're talking about.
Yeah, I thought about that. Or we could just have the camera pointed at the book.
Yeah,
We could.
because we're camera shy.
Yeah, I don't really want to be. When I talk, I have all sorts of weird, like nervous, like tics, like I'm like picking or talking or got my arm crocked differently. So it's just awkward.
You are weird and awkward.
I agree, and so that's why we're just gonna do. We'll just do audio. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening.
And if you have any friends who are really into comics, we're really just gonna talk about comics most of the time, like a lot of independent comics, like Image and other indie stuff. We read some Marvel and DC, so we'll probably talk about some of that. But, we're just going to talk about comics and what's going on with
Yeah.
comics. And so if you have friends who are really into comics, feel free to show them, or if you think they would be interested in this podcast, feel free to push them our way. Don't just push random people our way, because I don't think they would be that interested in that.
No, and I'm shaking my head no
On the camera.
on the camera.
That is not there. Yeah. So, anyway. Yeah.
Maybe we'll have, like, if we get people that actually listen, like, live, maybe we'll start asking, we'll have questions or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And if you guys have questions for us, you can ask, obviously ask questions, and if we keep an eye on it, we can answer.
Yeah, and this was just kind of just to get our feet wet. We did this for like 5 years before, then we took a 2-year break, so we're kind of back. So
Yeah.
I will try and come up with some interesting other like segments and bits and stuff that we can do. And we might do some interviews too. I think that would be fun.
I would love to do that. That's what I really liked about the old podcast.
Yeah, so we can probably try and do some interviews. That would be fun.
That would be awesome.
So I have some other ideas that we could try too. So.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks for everybody who tuned in.
All right.
And this, I believe the way Facebook Live works is you can go in after, and then you could listen to the podcast at a later date. Like, you don't have to listen to it live, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I listened to a few of those that way.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right.
Well, we're signing off.
Yep.
Thanks for listening, everybody who did, and hopefully people will find it after the fact.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.